pre-recorded, live, before a studio audience of stuffed animals. It's the Comics Coffee Table from our Boston studios. How you doing today? Pull up a chair, grab a cuppa, whatever it is you're shoving under your nose today, pal. Have a sip. Take a seat. Let's take a break. Leave the real world over there for a few minutes. Sit down with us at our coffee table. The coffee table was where my friends and I would always congregate. There would be a stack of movies, a stack of music, and a stack of books, and especially a stack of funny books, on that table. We're all trying to get each other to read. And it's in that spirit that we meet here at this Comics Coffee Table. Thank you so much. I am rebagging, reboarding, reboxing my entire collection. I am also going to I'm informing myself about how to grade comics and give myself a ballpark estimate of what that collection's worth while I'm going through these long boxes and migrating the collection into short boxes. From long box to short box. Yeah, the older I get, the heavier they get. And also, every single one of my comics needs boards. I'll tell you that. So now that I got my head around grading comics, now I can say, like all my comics suffer from spine rolls. I mean, they're all of pretty great quality, but we have dings. Dings. And I'm getting so much better at identifying like all the little things involved in grading comics. It's just, there's just so many, like, here you go. There's a 10-point grading system. That is an industry standard. And this is all new information for me and a lifelong love of this hobby. So bring it on. Yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm also glad to be getting back to my local comic book shop weekly as well. I go on Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, and I get new releases, I get back issues, and I get supplies. I could be getting my supplies from my online supply chain, at a price break with free delivery. But how is that helping keeping my local comic book shop open? I think that's important to me personally. The comic book shop is the fulcrum of our culture as comic book fans. And it's time that we go back to our comic book shops and we spend our money there. Yes, I'm paying the markup for these products when I could be saving money. Am I stupid? What's worth more to me? Keeping my comic book shop open or the convenience of my online retail supply chain? For me, it's the former of the two. It's when these stores are gone, they're gone. The record stores, mall toy stores, candy stores, in a way too, they've gone. You can always find a boutique, in a niche store, a used record store, a vintage toy store. So, but like the mall. Oh, I grew up with toy stores. They were like Mecca or Valhalla, or it's going down the G.I. Joe aisle, in the Transformer aisle, or the video games and all these toys I couldn't take home with me. I had plenty at home, but still, like, they were just. And so the comic book store is a wonderful place, and it's up to us to help keep them open for as long as humanly possible. Seriously. So I'm getting my short boxes there. I'm getting my acid-free boards there. I'm getting my acid-free boards to the comic book store. That's not really good. That wasn't very, very good. He writes the show notes. I'm just the talent. Please forgive me. And bags. So yeah, I got bags, boards, we got boxes, and we got comic books. We got this Comics Coffee Table. So thank you so very much for tuning in and hanging out with us and talking about comic books every day, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern daily. Turn on those notifications, ring that bell. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button. I would love to be part of your YouTube day. We make daily content, for real. So last year, the book that we used was this one, The Golden Age of DC Comics, 365 Days. It's an Anchor 2004 publication, written and curated by Les Daniels, Jeff Spear, and Chip Kidd, and photographed too. And and that's the Golden Age of DC Comics. And that helped invent what we know today as multiverse. And along the way, there's been a multiverse in the DC Comics as well. Now, you probably know what a multiverse is, whether it's the Oscar-winning movie of last year, Everything, Everyone, All at Once, or Into the Spider-Verse, the Spider-Man animated show, the movie, or even the multiverse of madness. Like Marvel Comics is now cashing in on multiverse, but it was DC Comics that really started the whole thing of multiverse. So with the Golden Age, the original 1938 Superman, the original 1939 Batman, the original 1939 Wonder Woman, 1939's Flash, Hourman, Hawkman, Green Lantern, Black Canary, 1941, I believe. Was it? Yeah, and on and on. And until they stopped publishing them, about 1951 or so. And Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Action Comics, Detective Comics, Adventure Comics starring Superboy, those went on, and Adventure Comics, I think, also had Green Arrow as well. So very few characters made it into the new Silver Age unscathed. So there were a few. The rest of them, everyone else was we know today, was rebooted. So it was Showcase number 4, October of 1956, that was introduced. Barry Allen, the Silver Age Flash, and we're off to the races. And in Barry Allen's Flash, that starts with the numbering from the previous Golden Age Flash, Jay Garrick, the one with the pan on his head. In 1951, his volume stops at issue 57. So it restarts at issue 58. By issue 123, we have something called A Flash of Two Worlds, where, because Barry Allen got his idea to be the Flash from reading these DC comic books as a kid. He read Jay Garrick's adventures as the Flash in Funnybooks, and it gave him the idea to adopt the name and the colors and the lightning bolt, and it's really fun. So this Barry Allen, he vibrates his molecules because of his super speed, and he realizes there's another dimension, just another vibration away, and he can vibrate to these other Earths that exist side by side by side, and they might be even infinite, an infinite number of Earths, and on each Earth there's like a different version of yourself, or there's just a different set of circumstances, or somewhere you've never existed. So Barry Allen vibrates his molecules and gets to meet the Golden Age Flash. So all of these adventures that happened between 1938 and 1955 happen now in what we call retcon, retroactive continuity. This begins the multiverse. That becomes Earth 2. So we have Earth 1 that's where everything's taking place and the modern continuity. And Earth 2 was where the past happened. And so now you have an Earth 2 Superman, and Earth 2 who's older as well. And so that was the original Justice Society of America. The first super team was in 1939, 1940. And that pantheon, that mythology, that being on a Mount Olympus in Zeus's court, the gods and goddesses, that's remained. It has. It just, and why we're talking about Justice Society of America today. We're going through my DC long box. Dun, 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 dun. We're reboxing, reboarding. I got to get to the boards. I was going to call this show, it's getting rather something about being bored. So, yeah, we've got Justice Society in here. Lots of them, too. Well, at least two years worth. It looks 2 years worth, because it during 2007, 2006, 2007. That was like my big wheelhouse. I had just come. It was like I come back to comics in 2001, and I was now. Going every week again, and it was a good time to be it was a good time to be a DC fan. Let's put it that way. DC, I had a great new golden age in the early 2000s, and I have I've got the first 26 issues. Mostly Jeff Johns. I think it's all Jeff Johns, isn't it? You have Jeff Johns and Dale Eaglesham's. This is Justice Society of America, Volume 3. Now, Jeff Johns had done the previous volume of Justice Society of America, and that came about in 1999. I do have the wiki page here somewhere. Wiki! Everybody loves a wiki. The first JSA, the major title that wasn't the All-Star Squadron or the Justice Society title of the Bronze Age, because there was one of those. But there was this modern age JSA. It was called JSA, and it ran from 1999 until 2006. And that was originally done by James Robinson and David S. Goyer. Eventually, I'm going to read this from the wiki. That's right. The Justice Society is revived as a monthly series called JSA in 1999, which mixed the few remaining original members with younger counterparts. This incarnation of the team focused on the theme of generational legacy and of carrying on the heroic example established by their predecessors. Jeff Johns co-wrote the series with David Goyer, and Jeff Johns continued to write the series solo after Goyer's departure. And this helped put Jeff Johns on the DC chessboard as a major player who has a huge encyclopedic knowledge and love of all of these characters. Jeff Johns is one of the best DC writers and knows how to use continuity well and as a boon, and how to fix other people's messes, and how to modernize. Really, I mean, just like, of course, you always find negative things to say about people, but for the most part, Jeff Johns, for me, has just been this complete slugger, with just knocking stuff out. His DC comic stuff, for me, is just, I still buy his stuff today. If you see, I get Stargirl, The Lost Children, which is JSA material. There is a new Justice Society of America, once again written by Jeff Johns, that I'm buying. That is a volume 4 that comes after this. But this is volume 3. And this ran from February 2007 to October 2011, where the Flashpoint happens, and then comes the New 52. This volume ran 54 issues, and this had such a great creative team. Justice Society, Volume 3, 2006 to 2011. On December the 6th, 2006, a new series was launched with the creative team of Jeff Johns, Dale Eaglesham on pencils, and the legendary Alex Ross on cover art. The beginning of the new series showed JSA veterans The Flash, Green Lantern, and Wildcat choosing members of the new generation of superheroes to train. Continuing a major theme from the previous JSA title, this new series focused on the team being caretakers of the superhero legacy from one generation to the next. There was a crossover, too, between the JLA and the JSA, again with the Lightning Saga, and JLA Volume 4, number 8 and 10, and JSA number 5 and 6, and an epilogue issue in number 7. And I recently just took those issues apart and put them back into their proper orders. Like the other day on Saturday, we were going through the JSA, and I was like, I kind of thought, where is issue 8? Oh, it's right here. Yeah, it was in another box, filed together, I think in the Crisis Long box. And so we're breaking up that band. Yeah, we're getting new boxes for these and new boards. And a lot of these, some of these, the bags are mostly good. So they just need boards. So let's do some boarding. Let's get to it. This one is worth as a 9.2. I looked her up in the in Das Buch. In the book, this is worth $10. And now, if this was the Eaglesham variant cover, it would be worth $15, and that would only if it was a 9.2 near mint condition. Now, you know, all of my comics have spine roll. There are dings about, so I would wonder what condition this would be in. Definitely not a 5.0. It's much higher than that. So it's got to be somewhere around the 7s, I think. Maybe an 8. And now I would need the professional eye. Here's a good time to remind you that if you have questions about the condition or value of your funny books, then go to your local comic book shop while you're picking up supplies and ask. They should be able to answer these questions. They should be able to grade. My friend Yule Carter at Fantastic Comics in Berkeley, California. Fantastic Comics, so fun you'll vomit. Fantastic Comics. Thanks, Yule. It's going to be in my head for days. Look at this Alex Ross cover. And but he said to me, well, he said to all of us on his show a couple of weeks back that anyone working in a comic book store should be able to grade your comic. And that's like part and parcel with the gig. I like that. And so yeah, Alex Ross did all of these covers. This is Maxine Hunkel. She is a young lady. I think she's in high school or perhaps, or maybe even just in college. But she is a legacy character. Ma Hunkel's granddaughter. Ma Hunkel, the first Red Tornado. Well, Maxine Hunkel is Cyclone. And yeah, that's her. Yeah. And she's a legacy character. She's like a third generation. One thing I like about the Justice Society of America, you have elders, you have grown-ups, and then you have young people. So you have 3 generations of superheroes in one room at one time, and they're learning from each other. Like as an older chef, I gotta say, I keep learning from the younger people. You will never stop learning. But the younger people, they need, this is the trade. You need to know how to hold a knife properly. You need to know what the internal temperature of chicken has to be before you pull it from the oven, and not dry it out either. Or pork, or beef, or fish. You got to know how to cook rice. Like what's the proportionality and the ratio of rice to water and which rices. Exactly. There's a lot of, things to teach young chefs. And this holds with superheroes as well. I'm pretty darn sure. Wildcat with his that's his son, his bastard son. He didn't know he had one. And that's Ted Grant, the Wildcat, and his son, the Wildcat. So yeah, there are 2 Wildcats. There's always a lot of hubbub about characters with the same code names, especially with Flashes. Like are there too many Flashes? Are there? And then you can't. I don't know. Is it fair or unfair to bring up the Green Lanterns? The Green Lantern Corps. Welcome to the second Sandman. This is Sandy Hawkins, aka Sand, the original Sandy, the kid sidekick to Wesley Dobbs, the first Sandman. If you tuned in last year, every day we talked about a different Golden Age character. So yeah, a multiverse. So along the way, Earth 2 was destroyed or amalgamated into a one Earth. There was one multiverse, one universe, one Earth, one story. And so ever since then, we've had this blended universe. And so the Justice Society is like a really, it's nice because these are like 82-year-old characters and properties, and they're still going on, and they're still interesting. And also because they're older people too. These and it's showing that you can still contribute, especially like when you're older. And like this is in really good condition. I mean, like we got dings, of course. We'll always have dings. This is Atom Smasher, aka Nuklon, Al Rothstein. He's the grandson, I believe, of the Golden Age Atom Al Pratt, who is. So this guy's got like, yeah, we got spine roll. We got spine roll. We'll get a board on that stat. Oh no! Keep it in the bag. You'll smother him. Where the heck come from? Pika, you gotta watch what you write. We're on TV. I'm just the talent. I read what he writes. Gosh. He was reading some Hunter S. Thompson the other day. I had to, you know how much stuff I have to veto after he goes all gonzo? Man, we were somewhere beyond the edge of the desert near Barstow. That's when the drugs began to take hold. I remember saying something like, I feel a little lightheaded. Maybe you should drive. And then suddenly, the whole car was surrounded with what looked like huge bats, all swooping and diving around the car, which was going about 100 miles an hour with the top down to Las Vegas. My attorney was pouring beer in his chest to facilitate the tanning process. This is Steel, Citizen Steel of all people. I mean, he's one of many Steel. Steel has an indestructible skin. Well, kind of like, Luke Cage. But, yeah, he's like, I don't know if he can feel. But he was I think he was Captain Steel. And now, this guy that's Citizen Steel. And then here's Jesse Chambers, Liberty Bell. Indeed. Father as Johnny Quick. And this is back when she was Liberty Bell the first time. She's gone back to Liberty Bell by being Jesse Quick, too. Her mom was Liberty Bell, and her dad was the second speedster of the Golden Age, of DC's Golden Age, was Johnny Quick. So she's got like flash powers, like speed, and she also has some kind of super strength, too, I believe. Look at these action figure ads. Look at that. And this is in the TA. This is in the Justice League Unlimited days. We got Lex. We've got a Red Hood with a Joker underneath him. That's Gorilla Grodd. And look at these Bruce Timm inspired action figures. Isn't that wonderful? And look at this Alex Ross cover. Alex Ross. He paints these. This is I believe this is this is like Bob Ross art or Ginger Ninja art. This is real art. Well, it's all real art, even the digital stuff too. I don't want to sound like I'm clowning on. I don't want to sound like I'm clowning on digital. Power Girl, love this, and it's great Dale Eaglesham art. Oh look, remember Heroes? Save the cheerleader, save the world. Oh, I love Dale Eaglesham's art. And we got, Stargirl. There's Jay Garrick. So it's about, family. And, friends being family. And team being family. And sometimes family fights. And sometimes, oh, wow, look at this splash page. Isn't that wonderful? I love that. See, we got Liberty Bell up there with Rick Tyler, her husband, the Hour Man. There's Cyclone. Look at that. This is great. I love Eaglesham's art. Hero Clicks. Yeah, ads in comic books, huh? Oh, I love that 1 year later Robin costume. I really do. And then at the end of it, we have a special visitor. We have a strange visitor from a distant world, from another Earth, from Earth 22, the Kingdom Come Earth. What's Kingdom Come? It's Alex Ross. It's Mark Waid, and it's a future Earth where there was a divergence in the future where Joker kills people in Metropolis, including Lois Lane, and then but Superman doesn't kill Joker. Joker is killed by someone named Gog, a second generation superpower that's new for this property. It's new for the story. So he's a true like second generation. You know, probably he's just new to the continuity, new to the story, and it was exclusive to that Earth. It was just like this new hero, Gog, and he kills Joker, and he becomes a celebrity. He becomes the next hero, and this is a tragic thing that Gog is who he is because he did something that Superman couldn't. Gog is the man that killed the Joker, who had it coming, who you should have done this to. All these years ago, you would have saved so many lives if you would only kill Joker. But Gog does, and he suffers regret because he's like, I will never be like you, Superman. I can't. I'm soiled. I'm dishonored. I can't be I am not a hero. I'm a killer. You're the superhero. And it's just like, it's heartbreaking. Yeah, I mean, Alex Ross, Mark Waid's Kingdom Come. Also had a sequel called The Kingdom. I love that. And that's just back in Elseworlds was like just its own thing. It wasn't quite multiverse yet. It was called Elseworlds. They were just alternate stories set on an alternate Earth. And then over time, because these ideas were so good that they become included in part of the tapestry, of the canon, of the lore, of the overstory. They become part of the multiverse. And so we bring in Superman, or Earth 22 Superman, comes to visit our Earth for a while too. He becomes the Superman, the older Superman of the JSA for a while. And it's a good fit, and it's really interesting because by this time, Earth 2 Superman is dead. He died in the Infinite Crisis at the hands of Superboy Prime. Look at this cover. Look at these. This is just this superhero, and like everyone's looking at Superman. They finally have like this like, well, Jesse's not, and who's that over there? Oh, that's Starman. Yeah, but everyone's kind of like, oh wow, Superman's here, and Kara's like, you're not my cousin, but you look just like her cousin, Earth 2 Superman. Like that's like wow. You're almost him. It's just, and he's a great Superman alternate because he didn't his greatest mistake was stepping back after Gog killed Lois Lane. He kind of, it was a world without a Superman. He went into, he retired. And the Kingdom Come is about him having to come out of retirement. And Kingdom Come is just one of the best DC superhero stories out there. So this is dovetailing the Kingdom Come into the prime DC universe of New Earth. It's not quite Earth. Is it Earth Zero yet? When was this published? Let's look to the Indicia Colophone. This is issue 12. Look at that, yeah. When was this published? March of 2008. Look at the Eaglesham art. Eaglesham knows how to draw superheroes. That's Mr. America. And once again, we've gone over all of these heroes in the golden age of DC Comics. This is Justice Society of America, number 12, March of 2008. Here's your DC Nation page. I was buying so many of these comic books at that time. Oh, this is in great condition, too. Not a lot of spine roll. We do have some yeah, look at that crack right there. But that's fine. I mean, these covers, these corners are crisp and clear. The pages, it has a tactile feel to it. It feels new. So happy. I love these comic books. These were $2.99 cover price back then. And at the entire time, I'm buying Justice League of America this entire time as well. And I was buying Batman monthly. And I think Teen Titans. There's a lot of DC comics. I was such a happy DC fan. Yeah, look at this. I love that cover. Look at that. That's storytelling. If you don't know who it is, it just bloody well tells you right there. And this evokes the old Bronze Age, the Silver and Bronze Age team-up covers, where you would need a legend like that. Isn't that great? And so we have Gog and Magog show up. So yeah, it wasn't really my favorite storyline, but look at that art. I mean, geez, when the annuals fit in with the overstory. But look at that. I mean, look at that art. We got all of this, like, we got Earth 2 Robin smuggled in there. You've got Infinity Incorporated level Fury and Silver Scarab in there. You got second look Golden Age Hawkman in there with the yellow cowl. They got the most original looking Huntress. I love that cover. Look at that. All of these are Alex Ross covers. All of them, yeah. The Injustice Society Justice Society Infinity. Oof. And then came some specials that they tried to, some tie-in specials. You had Superman, you had Magog. The Kingdom. And so this is winding up my JSAs. The Faces of Evil covers. And this has interior art by Jerry Ordway. Hello. He did such a good job with Black Adam. Oh, and look at that. We got Mary Marvel doing the Black Adam power. On the way to Infinite Crisis, I think. Final Crisis. And this is the last issue that I got. Issue 26. So I spent about just a little over 2 years with that comic book. I'm going to board the rest of these. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. Sharing a couple of minutes, talking about some old comics, beloved comics, great art, great superhero stories. It was a new golden age. It was the early 2000s. And DC Comics was doing great before Flashpoint and the New 52. I really feel that. And what do you feel? Let me know in the comment section. So good to see everyone in the live chat. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern daily. Turn on those notifications. Ring that bell. All righty. We'll see you later. Cheers. Bye-bye.